Pleases the court, my lord. In response to my learned colleague in regards to accused number 7 and him not wanting to have his meal this morning, the issue is not him wanting to have the meal, Your Worship. The issue herein is, if he does have that meal, my client is a diabetic, Your Worship, and the food that was provided to him will spike his sugar levels. They have not taken that into consideration. If they have, Your Worship, they will offer him food which would be consistent to giving someone who has diabetes. He has medication which he needs to consume. Unfortunately, he cannot take the medication because he hasn't consumed any food thus far. He's informed them numerous times, but they refuse. I was in the cells myself. I've seen what type of food they...
what is happening today, or are we talking
Today, Your Worship, this morning.
So what is actually sought?
Your Worship, accused number 7 cannot literally consume any food this morning because the sugar levels and the carbohydrates are very rich in the food that they're offering to give him. And I was privy and witness to that. It's not conducive to give him the said food to someone who suffers from diabetes. That's the reason he refused to eat the meal, Your Worship.
So what is the request?
My request is that my client receive food conducive to a diabetic, Your Worship. That is not high in sugar and that a diabetic can tolerant, if I may say so, in respect to the food. Your Worship, I would also like to bring to the court's attention, I further have instructions from my client that he has been refused or denied any phone calls to his legal representatives while he is in custody. And denied a phone call as recent as yesterday, a day before his court date as well, Your Worship. Yeah, my lord.
So are you seeking this again?
Your Worship, we humbly seek that a directive and order be given by this honorable court that he has access, free access to his legal representatives. If he needs to contact them, Your Worship, or contact us, he has that available. Your Worship, I believe it's constitutional right to allow him a phone call, or when his attorneys do call him, or that he is allowed.
Was this matter ever taken up with the relevant authorities?
Your Worship, I've just received instruction this morning.
I see.
As I've only been placed on record this morning, Your Worship, my lord. There's also the aspect of clothes, where my client has been denied access to his own clothing.
Clothes?
To his own clothing, Your Worship, even for purposes of coming to this court.
Excuse me, your client, clothes, is he an awaiting trial prisoner?
Your Worship, indeed. Accused number 7 coming to court, Your Worship. He's been forced by the authorities as per my instruction.
Is it in respect of attending
this court today, Your Worship?
or is it also in respect of the other days, or solely in respect of
court? That's my instruction, Your Worship. In respect, my lord. Your Worship, I did address the issue of the chronic medication. My lord, I did address the issue of chronic medication, which he needs to take after consuming a meal. Indeed,
Are you
my
saying, is
lord.
that all?
Indeed, that is all for now, as the court pleases.
Thanks, Mr. Seeded. Ms. Bester, on this aspect of Mr. Seeded?
My Lord, I think with regarding the food, I think the police can address that. Regarding the protocol of the phone calls, we can't interfere with their protocol. I know that it is strict and there are certain protocols that they must follow, so with all due respect, I don't think it would be advisable for the court to make an order. The reason why there is a protocol, because they can also phone other people and committed further crimes in the prison. That is why there is some certain protocols regarding the phone calls. Regarding his clothes, it doesn't look like you have the orange, normally the orange overall on, that they do wear, so I don't know what is the problem, but that is also not my concern at all. I've got nothing to do with that, and with all due respect, I also think that the court cannot order correctional services in that regard, because we don't know what is the certain protocol in that regard, and that's that. But regarding the food, I think the police can see if they can assist him. I don't know. I have no idea what do diabetics eat, if it's bananas or oranges or anything like that. I have no idea.
The question of the food, is it for the day, for today that is?
It's only for today. He's transported from the prison in Joburg, and he's going to be transported immediately back after the adjournment.
Thank you. That takes care of Mr. You want a replication, Mr. Seeded?
I beg your pardon, my lord.
You'd like to replicate on that?
Indeed, my lord. I believe the accused person has a right to legal representation. He has a right of access to his legal representation, Your Worship. That is standard protocol. When the accused is denied that right, my lord, it's an injustice. The accused, like all the other accused, Your Worship, or my lord, in any other courts or in any other matters, they have access to their own clothing, my lord. My client is being targeted in this matter, where he's directed to only wear what the officials at the prison direct him to wear, my lord.
Excuse me, I missed the last part.
Where they only direct him to wear the clothes that they set out. That is my instruction, Your Worship, my lord, as the court pleases.
Thank you, Mr. Seeded.
I made a mistake. It is correctional services who are responsible for his food, because accused number 7 is a sentenced prisoner. So he can't wear whatever he wants. And I don't understand the fact that he didn't have access to his lawyers. The way I understood it this morning, that this new legal team only received this morning instructions. Now, what legal team didn't he have anything? Did they deny him access? That is the way I was
Seeded
informed.
said that your client is an awaiting trial prisoner.
No,
I beg you.
he's a sentenced prisoner.
Okay, are you aware of that, Mr. Prisoner? Excuse me, Mr. Seeded? Mr. Seeded?
Indeed,
Because you
Your
brought me under the impression that he's awaiting trial.
My lord, he's awaiting trial in respect of this matter, but he is a sentenced prisoner.
I see. Okay.
Indeed,
Thanks.
my lord.
Thanks, Mr. Seeded. That is all, Ms. Bester.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
My lord.
We'll attend to that matter just now, Mr. Seeded. In respect of the draft order and and one of the aspects that were raised by Ms. Bester, I'll start with you, Mr. Dlamini.
Apologies, my lord. There was one aspect that was raised by my learned colleague in as far as the bail conditions are concerned. I do not know if the court would want me to address that now or later on.
Okay, can you give us space that we just
As the court pleases.
get some order in it?
As the court pleases.
If I miss that, you'll remind me, Mr.
I'll do so, my lord. As the court pleases.
Mr. Dlamini, I'll start with you in respect of the draft order, and also the aspect that was raised by Ms. Ms. Bester, I think it will also touch on Mr. Mutloum now that he is the instructing attorney here. That is in respect of the financial instructions, as you usually call it. That you fully put in funds. The idea is, this is an aspect that was taken earlier on, and I thought that it will be contained in the way forward in the draft order. Apparently it is not. But for the sake of orderliness, that there is no disruption in due course. So what is the position with in respect of your client?
My Lord, I'm not sure if it will
But
be...
first, can you start with the draft order? You have a copy of the draft order.
Draft order,
Do you confirm the contents of the draft order?
fully aware of the contents thereof.
And the fifth aspect is actually the one I think that I'm addressing now in respect of the pecuniary, the fees. Are your fees covered, and that there is no disruption in due course, that there is a possible withdrawal, that you are not putting funds?
My Lord, as much as a council, I have been briefed. But
So I say that it also
I have some concerns with regard to that aspect. Particularly, my Lord, because we have not reached a stage wherein we can be able to say, out of all the list of witnesses that we have been provided, we're looking at approximately the duration of the trial which may exist for how long, because that is very important in order to determine whether or not it will be feasible and practically possible for an attorney to say, I have enough funds to cover for the duration of the trial. So my point, my Lord, is that how about...
The reason why it was not put in as 0.5 in the draft order?
I assume so, I assume so. But to my way of thinking, I would suggest that since we're still coming back here on the 5th, can this matter not be ventilated on that particular day? When the state will then be able to say, my Lord, I have so many witnesses, and out of all these witnesses, it is expected that the trial might run for so long. Because right now we don't know whether the trial will run for 3 weeks or 4 weeks or a month or 2 months. So it will be my plea and my request, my Lord, that this matter be held over until the next appearance when we do the pre-trial, and then it will be determined on that particular day, if it pleases you, Master.
Thanks, Mr.
Otherwise, the last
Mr.
aspect,
Chairman.
my Lord, regarding the date of the next remand being the 5th of June, I'm comfortable with that, my Lord. If the date suits me.
As a date for the pre-trial.
5th of June.
As a date for the pre-trial.
The 5th of June. Yes, my Lord, it's the 5th.
Thanks, Mr. Dlamini. Mr. Mtloum? You confirm
My
what
Lord,
your counsel has said?
I do confirm, my Lord.
And you confirm the draft order
I do confirm the draft order, my Lord.
and the date of postponement?
Indeed so, my Lord. That is in order, my Lord. I must indicate, my Lord, furthermore, just to touch on what my learned colleague has said under my brief, that take the opportunity to also address those issues on behalf of accused number 8, that indeed that issue of being properly placed in funds has not arisen, particularly in respect of the fact that, taking into account that there are still preliminary issues underway. Until those are resolved, we shall be in a position.
So you say that we are still in early stages?
It's still early stages, my Lord. It's still early stages, particularly because that would actually be tantamount to putting the cart before the horse. We might not know how long the trial would last.
Anything
We
further?
are, at the moment, we confirm that at the moment, we are duly instructed in respect of accused number 1 and as well as accused number 8.
So
That's
it's
how far we can take
It's
it.
an
my
aspect
lord.
that could be revisited on the date of the pre-trial.
The matter will be revisited on that particular date,
Because
my
by
lord.
that time you'll have had the dockets and so on.
Indeed so, my lord. Indeed so, my lord, I confirm.
That will be all.
That will be it, my lord.
Thanks,
As a
Mr.
court
McLeod.
pleases, my lord.
But I received...
Definitely you are, Ms.
I
Bester.
know, and I apologize for that.
Okay.
But I think that is going to be helpful to the court. I look at the 212Bs that we did receive, and I can't see that we could do it in less than 24 weeks, because mainly everything is in dispute. So that they can take into consideration for their planning.
I think the long and short of the submissions that we've had thus far is that that aspect that you raised may be a bit premature in the sense that the overall picture is not yet.
But I can help
Yeah.
them with the overall picture, with the information that I received, 24 weeks at least.
24 weeks at
Yeah.
least. So do I understand you to be subtly saying that you confirm that this matter should be revisited at a later stage?
Well, we can do it on the later stage, but on that stage, when they do their planning now, they must realize that with that I received at the moment, I can't see that we can do it in less than 24 weeks.
Thank you for that,
Thank
Ms. Bester.
Although I was out of order. Thank you, my lord.
Well, it seems as if it came in good stead.
Thank you.
So what I'll do is that what I'm saying that is that to save time, I'm not going to raise that aspect because it was an aspect that was to be in the draft. Thanks, Ms. Bester. Mr. Dieber, I think you, excuse me, who's next is Mr. Van